Hey everyone, welcome to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Derling, and my co-host today has been on here several times. It's Chaz. How you doing?
Hey Tim, thanks for having me again. Really excited about this.
Yeah, and Chaz is here to. We're here to talk about a band that we've talked about before. This is a review episode, an album that's been out for a few weeks now. Unfortunately, the vinyl hasn't come yet. I think we
Yeah,
both got it ordered on vinyl, but it hasn't come as of
yeah,
yet. But it's the new one from Honeymoon Suite. It is called Alive, and it is on Frontiers Records. And we're here to talk about this album. I say this new album, but if you look at the recording sessions on the back, because I had to remind myself, Chess, because like I remember thinking, boy, it seems to me they were putting out new videos 3 years ago, and they were. So that this album, there's different sessions on here from 2019, 2020, 2021, 2023, and finally, it's out.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Same
I'm
thing.
not
It's
sure. I'm not sure why there's been such a long gap. It's been about 7 years since the Hands Up EP.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean the Honeymoon Suite catalog is. I just wish there was more. You know what I mean? I just wish there was more albums.
yeah, Tim. Like whatever they're gonna put out, I'm gonna buy. I'm sure you're gonna buy. And yeah, we just want more. And yeah, excited that it finally came together. It seems like it was gestating for a few years, like you said, all the way back to 2019, and then there was that announcement, like here it comes. So yeah, really stoked about it. Yeah,
I'm sure COVID put a damper on it too, but after that, once things started to loosen up a little bit, I remember thinking, well, they've obviously got a finished album. They've done videos, so yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and it's the lineup is intact. It's still Johnny D, Derek Green, Dave Betts, Gary DeLond, and Peter Nunn. And but the main, the guy that seems to be doing a lot of the work on here, it's not a name I recognize. A guy by the name of Mike Krampus.
Yeah, yeah, he produced it, and I looked him up, and he's a seems like he's a session player, but I think he's out of Toronto, and he's got some music that he streams. Definitely he's a guitar player, but I hadn't seen anything that he produced that I would know anyway. But he seems that he's in the business for sure, and a fellow Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah, and he co-writes the songs on here, and he's credited with drums, bass, guitars, keyboards, and programming. So, um, you know, I know that these some of these tracks are recorded piecemeal. I just wonder how much of it, like Gary, and Peter are on. I'd like to think most of it, but if
Yeah.
it's a yeah, he co-wrote everything on here actually with Johnny and Derry. So and he even designed the cover art.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I
he's
come across that too. Yeah.
the
And
regular jack of all trades. I don't know about you, Ches, but when I look at this, I get very 90s vibes from this.
yeah, same thing. Like the first thing I noticed, we don't have the classic Honeymoon Suite logo.
Yeah.
So we've got that, and yeah, it's a nice looking cover art, but yeah, I can see that 90s vibe definitely coming out of there. So yeah, it's something a little bit different. All the same, yeah, some great pictures and love all the lyrics in there from the guys, and yeah, I
Yeah,
can't wait till the final comes out. Yeah.
yeah, the credits are pretty complete. So I remember, just looking at it when I first got this, first opened it up, I looked on the back real quick and I thought, oh, Rob Bruce plays on this.
Yeah.
Well, he does. There are a couple remakes at the end. We'll get to that, but let's go through the tracks now. I think there's three of these that were already released. I think the last new video and single they put up was the title song "Alive." What do you think of this one?
Yeah, great vocals on it, kind of a mid-tempo, very melodic. I'm gonna be saying that a lot of about most of the album. It's very melodic. It's lots of ear candy, very catchy. Like it's a catchy, definitely catchy chorus. That's throughout the album. You get another great Jerry solo, kind of a mid-tempo, a lot of mid-tempo on this album, but good song. I like it. Like I like those melodies. They're catchy. Like I've been finding myself they're stuck in my head like all week. So good opener. I think there's better songs on the album, but decent opener.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's not my favorite on the album, but I do like it. It is very I hesitate to say it's very pop, but I mean it is you know what would in the 80s have been called like pop rock, but then again, that's what they were doing. That's what they were very, very good at, writing these catchy rock songs. So
Yeah.
it's very much in that vein. The second track is another one of the ones that's been floating around for a while. Find What You're Looking For. Um, I think the this one's pretty catchy too. It kind of picks up where the first track leaves off.
Yeah, again mid tempo again, but it picks up a little bit more mid tempo than the first one. One of my favorites on the album. Not my favorite, but I got a star beside it. Again, another catchy melody and chorus. Like Johnny sounds great on this
He
album.
does. Yeah.
He sounds fantastic. And I think we're getting like when Derry kicks in with his solos, like you and I talked when we reviewed the Clifton Hill reissue, how underrated he is. And I think he just picks up where he left off. Like again, like if nobody's ever heard this band or heard of Derry, like what a great guitar player. And those solos, you can just tell he puts thought into them. They just blend well with the song. So again, another good song. Again, not my favorite, but I like it a little bit better than Alive. But a very decent, like catchy again. Yeah.
Yeah. The best thing I can say is that I see read these song titles and I get parts of the songs in my head, which is really hard to do for new music. So I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, for
Track
sure.
three, track three is one of the harder rocking songs in here. Done Doing Me. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, definitely. I got a star. It is one of the heavier songs, one of the harder rocking songs. This might be my favorite song on the album. I love the chorus. I love that riff that Derry does. Yeah, again, catchy again. And as of right now, my favorite song on the album. I just love that intro and I love that chorus. Yeah, a really good one here. Yeah,
I agree with you. It's my favorite so far too. I
yeah,
really like this one. It's got a cool groove to it. I read an interview recently with I don't know who it was with. It was with Johnny, and he talked about he wanted to have and it's interesting because I thought about that. He wanted to have the way that Bruce Fairbairn, the late Bruce Fairbairn, would want horns, would want horns in on a song.
yeah,
And I got thinking about that because, of course, Bruce produced the big prize, but he didn't do it there. But he did it with Bon Jovi. He did it with Aerosmith.
yeah.
And, a little goes a long way. But I heard that. I'm like, yeah, I hear that. I hear that approach, which is kind of neat that he kind of referenced that. The next one, Afraid to Fall. What do you think of this one?
So again, it slows down a little bit, but then it picks up through the song. So again, I'm keep using mid tempo, but not as heavy as the last song. You kind of think it's going to be a ballad, but then it picks up. Like they don't really have like a true ballad. They have a couple of ballady songs on the album, but they always pick up. Like a lot of their ballads in the past did. Like they would start off slow, but it kind of always pick up in the middle. So that's what I get from this one. And again, catchy. Like these melodies have been in my head like all week, and like you said, that's hard. Like on a new album to have that immediacy. Like there's immediacy with the catchiness of it. So yeah, it's flowing along really nice. I like that one too.
Yeah, it's probably the closest thing to a ballad. I don't know if there's an all-out ballad on this album. There's lots of mid-tempo, slower ones, but it never really goes to that
Yeah.
ballad place. And then track five, I think this might have been one of the first things I heard is "Tell Me What You Want." This one is another really, it's up tempo, but it's very pop.
Yeah, exactly. And it's got that melody that it just sticks in your head, that chorus there. And I've got the same notes on there, mid tempo. Yeah, you could say that pop rock style, but yeah, and like I said, they've done that before. And yeah, it's just when people, I think when they start to when they get this album or they try it out, those hooks are gonna stay with you. And yeah, they did a great job with that. Yeah, another decent song. I'm really enjoying that one also.
You know, I guess we're halfway through the album proper. I mean, five out of the 10 new songs. And what I like about this, and I think they did it really well on Hands Up as well, a lot of older bands, when they come back, especially if they haven't put out that many new albums, sometimes they try to heavy up in a way that kind of doesn't sound like them and doesn't really jive with their older material. But this stuff here sounds like it could, any of these songs could fit right into the set lists.
Yeah,
And people might think that, oh, I don't remember this song. They might think it's older than it is. It does not, I'm not saying the songs sound old, but I'm saying that they're tapping into that sound rather than trying to show how tough they are. Then they're a
yeah,
rockin' band and they have songs that go there. But I like the fact that, because when they started out, if you listen to that first album, yeah, it had New Girl Now and it had Funny Business, but it also had Wave Babies and it had Face to Face. I mean, they weren't afraid
yeah.
to have that variety.
And that's a great point because a lot of the when they come back like after or the like the older bands, they try and modernize, I think, a little bit too much. Like you said, like go heavier than they've kind of like ever been type thing, just to kind of almost fit in. And sometimes it works, but sometimes it's kind of out of place. But that's a great point because throughout this album, I hear, well, this I could have heard this on the debut. I could have heard this on the big prize. So you can almost pick and choose. Like it's new and it's fresh, but you can see where they've influenced themselves. Like this could have been on this album, it could have been from that, and that's great. If somebody hasn't, heard them in a while, they think, oh yeah, I wonder from what album that song's from the '80s. It just they doing what they do well, and that's a great point. Totally agree with that.
Yeah, the only time that Honeymoon Suite really kind of stepped out of that zone, I think, is the Lemon Tongue,
Yeah, that's the one I was
or
thinking.
if you're in the UK, Dreamland. That's kind of a confusing set
Yeah,
of
that's
releases,
weird that one. Yeah. Mhm.
but that's not that they got heavier. I compare that was them trying to do like a Def Leppard slang,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, I never listened to those albums. I think there were some interesting things on there, but then they came back with Clifton Hill, and and when they have done new music, they've been on
Yeah.
this kind of roll. They're sounding like themselves, which is what we want, I think. You
Yeah,
know,
what we want. And not only that, sounding like themselves, but making great songs. And
yes,
yeah, that to me is the key. Like I keep saying again, like it's so melodic and it's you're gonna be they're gonna be stuck in your head. That
they're
they are
hooks.
in my head for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they write good old fashioned hooks that just stick to you. Next
Yeah.
song, Give It All. Like when I hear the title "Give It All," I think Rat, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm remembering this one too. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, picks up little bit heavier. Yeah, one of the heavier ones. Again, it's got that hook, ripping solo by Gary on this one. Yeah, and I got a star. Again, that Done Doing Time, my favorite. I got this one in the top three also. I really, really enjoying this one also.
Yeah, um, and another one of my favorites is the next song, "Love Comes." I really like this one.
Yeah, what a hook on this song. I've got this one as like I got like all the songs, but I got like the top five, and this one's definitely up there. Like again, you think it's a ballad, but it's not. I'm gonna say it's ballady, but it's not a full on ballad, but it kind of picks up. Like what a hook, and yeah, I love that song. Great song that Love Comes. Yeah.
Yeah, "Love Comes" and "Done Doing Me" are so far my favorites on the album.
Mhm.
Also, like "Broken," the next song.
Oh, that chorus broken. Because we're broken, and it goes like that. I just can't get that one out of my head. It's
Yeah,
just there it goes right there. Like there's three songs in a row, and it's almost like yes, yes, and then yes again. It's just like yeah, this is great. It's what we want. Yeah, love that one too.
with "Broken," I'm listening to it. I'm going, it's really good. And I was like, that chord progression sounds like something to, and I finally figured it out. It's not unlike another great song, slightly more recent, is "Tired of Waiting on You" from Clifton Hill. It's in
Oh
that
yeah,
vein very much.
yeah,
Not a copy, but it just feels like almost like Derry said, I want to try that out again and write a different song over it.
yeah,
And it's not the first time he's done that because if you go back, if you listen to "Burning in Love" and then you listen to "Love Changes Everything," those songs, you don't think of those songs as sounding alike, but they use the same progression.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like let's do it again. It worked. Let's do it again.
Yeah. It's like you say, like they're not copying themselves, but they're taking what they did and just kind of like okay, let's take that idea we did and let's kind of add this to it.
Yeah,
And yeah, you get like another great song out of that, another great hook. Yeah.
totally its own song. The way that, yeah, you're right. You know, the broken hook, the hooks like this whole album has hooks on it, and I missed that.
Mhm.
Next one is, I think, super catchy. Living Out Loud.
Yeah, another one, and another one of like, I guess, picks it up again. The pace is picked up again, a little bit heavier. So but yeah, again, very catchy. And yeah, Derry doing Derry, Johnny just sounding great. Like, it hit me right through. Like, I've been through this album about 6 or 7 times, and it's just like, wow, this Johnny is just sounding amazing. And you know, you can have hooks and you can have melody, and not everybody can deliver melodies, I feel, like everybody else. It's just like he's just doing what he does great. And yeah, just another great one.
What I've always liked about Johnny D is that he doesn't sound like anybody. I can't think of anybody that he sings like.
No.
He's always
Yeah.
been just utterly unique as far as when he sings a note, you know it's him. And Living Out Loud's got that in the blink of an eye, like that repeating thing, and that's the hook, and that gets in your head.
Yeah.
Actually, there probably is one ballad on here. It's the closing song. Doesn't feel like that, but it's a good one.
That's the one I kind of got like the most ballad type on there, and it just really closes the album well. Yeah, another good one. Just another great song. And my only my only thing is that it's just like it's not a very long album.
Yeah,
So
the songs are
without,
pretty short. Like a lot of the songs are less than 3 minutes.
yeah. So
And
if you take off the two bonus tracks at the end, it clocks into like 30 minutes. But like, what a great 30 minutes. You know, we would have loved to have like maybe a couple more, but they just flow so good. You know, it's just like, yeah, like they clock in around 3 minutes, but because I think they're so good, they don't feel like they're short. They're just good songs. Like, they're well
yeah,
structured, they're well sung, they're well played. And yeah, would have liked maybe a couple of more, but hey, what we got is like 10 solid ones.
and I think that there's a lot to be said for that quality over quantity, because a good 10-song album, yeah, you don't think about how long or short it is. You just think that was really good. But if you've got an album that's just chock full right to the edge with new songs, and you've got like 15, 16 songs to get through, there is that fatigue, and it's hard to listen
Yeah,
to it in one setting. This, you can easily
exactly.
breeze through it, and then, next tomorrow, what am I going to listen to? Yeah, I'm going to listen to Honeymoon Suite again. So
Yeah,
I think that they went. I think that's the approach they took. With less is more, and hey, who knows? Maybe they've got another batch of songs, and maybe in another couple of years we'll have another album. I that's my only thing about Honeymoon Suite. I love the band so much, and they've just, when it comes to melodic rock, there are very few that are in their wheelhouse that sound exactly. There's bands that I like that are similar, but nobody sounds exactly like Honeymoon Suite. And I wish there was an album in, you know, 2020, and I wish there was one in 2011. I just wish there were a few more along the way. It's like Aldo Nova. I just wish there was more.
yeah,
But
yeah,
we'll take what they come up with. Now there are,
yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
there are a couple of studio remakes, which is interesting. I'm guessing that these were done for licensing purposes. I have
Now,
to I have to imagine.
one question I had, I thought I read they were remixed, but then when I listened to them, I'm not quite sure. Are they remixed or remade? Like, do you have a
These sound
handle on
like
that?
different recordings to me. I mean, well, Rob Cruz is credited on Love Changes Everything, and they can do some amazing things with isolating parts.
Yeah,
And when that initial dung comes on, that sounds exactly like Racing After Midnight version.
yeah, hmm,
And so I wonder if they were able to take his keyboards and put a new track over it, because it's a different vocal. It's
yeah,
definitely a different vocal. I wonder if they did that, but I'm guessing they did that for licensing purposes, so Frontiers can get a couple of recognizable songs on. Hey, how cool would it be if an HMS song ended up in, say, Stranger Things or something like that, and all of a sudden, you
yeah.
know,
Like to me, that was kind of like, I thought, well, there's probably something behind it,
there
because
always is. Yeah, it's never for no
yeah,
reason.
And you know, us as fans, yeah, I love having those. And again, I love they're tacked on at the end of the album, you know, because it's, to me, that truly is what a bonus should be. You got the proper
Yeah.
album, and you tack them on right there. When they tack them on like in the middle, like I never understood that when they're tacked on like
It's
right in the middle and they call it a
I find
bonus
it
track.
I find it a distraction
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's like you're not fooling anybody. Everybody knows that everybody that's listening to a Honeymoon Suite album in 2024 would know those songs.
yeah,
So
for sure.
um
Yeah,
so yeah, put them on the end and you know, they're just there. You don't have to. You can skip them if you want. It's interesting though. I mean, they did put a couple of live tracks at the end of the Hands Up, but those were live. These are actual the first time, as far as I know, that they've actually gone into the studio and re-recorded
yep,
them, and they sound much like they were recorded at the rest of the same time as the rest of these tracks. But
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
I like the fact that you know we're talking about those two as the additions because I'm mostly excited about the new material, and that's the
Yeah,
way it should be with a new album from a veteran band. So, I mean, here we are, 40 years since the debut, and you know, Honeymoon Suite are back. And if you ever liked them in the '80s, you would like this. Wherever it is that you get your music, I highly recommend checking
yeah,
this out. This is not a departure. This is
no,
not something where you're going to put this on and think, oh, that doesn't sound like them, or oh, they sound so old. No, this is
no.
this stuff is good. It's quality. It's melodic. It's just what you would expect from a
Yeah.
Honeymoon Suite album. It's just it's new songs, and that's you know I'm
Hook,
hoping that hoping they hit the road. I'm hoping I get to see them again.
oh yeah, for sure. Like hooks in your head, and you know, we're all waiting for that summer to come around. Like to me, perfect summer cruising album right here.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
any time of the year, like not to, highly recommend it. Just like you, and I agree with everything you said there. It's fantastic, and yeah, just thankful we got it, and what a great album. Love
Yeah.
it.
Honeymoon Suite, new album, Alive. Go get it. Go to their website or get it through Frontiers or wherever it is you get your music. It is available on vinyl, and Ches and I both have the vinyl ordered. I think I can probably safely say that like the Clifton Hill reissue, I cringed a little bit at the cost,
Yeah,
especially the shipping. But then I got thinking about how I wish I had ordered Hands Up when they put that on vinyl. It just I had sticker shock, and I've regretted it ever since because I'd
eh,
have all of the available vinyl that there was. But so
yeah,
this is coming on vinyl. But for now, whatever form you get it in, go get yourself a copy of Honeymoon
yeah.
Suite's latest album, Alive. Thanks, Ches, for sitting in. I
Thank you, Tim.
always
Yep.
good talking these classic bands, especially when we can talk about their new music. I love
Yeah,
that. You know, they're
love
not
it.
just they're you know hopefully they had a bunch of the you know I think Done Doing Me and Love Comes and Living Out Loud and you know maybe another couple would like I said sit right in on those in those within those classic songs. I mean, there's songs here that they could open with. Be great if they opened the new tour with Alive, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, 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 yeah. This is great. Thanks for having me, Tim, and really enjoyed it. And yeah, great album. Yeah.
All right, everybody, thanks for watching this edition of Tim's Vinyl Confessions. We'll see you all later.